All right, gamers and monitor hunters, you're here because you've seen the price tag. \n you're staring at the Samsung Odyssey G7 27-inch, wondering if that extra cash is justified. \n you want the best, but you fear overpaying for hype. \n I promise to give you the unfiltered truth, including the one thing Samsung doesn't shout about. \n but here's what surprised me more than its insane specs. \n it's not for everyone, and that's its biggest strength. \n therefore, if you're ready for a brutally honest review, stick around. \n for the best price, click the link in the description. \n let's get into it. \n so, the Odyssey G7. It's a monitor that looks like it was designed by a sci-fi prop department. \n that aggressive, futuristic curve isn't just for show. It's a 1000R curvature, the most extreme on the market. \n they call it wrapping the screen around your eyeballs. It feels immersive. \n but that's just the aesthetic. \n what about the panel? \n it's a 27-inch 240Hz 1ms QHD 2560 x 1440 beast. \n it boasts quantum dot technology for vibrant colors and HDR 600. \n on paper, it's a dream for competitive gamers and enthusiasts. \n therefore, you'd think the answer is simple. Buy it. \n however, I'm going to open a curiosity loop right now. \n that incredible 240Hz refresh rate. Is it actually usable, \n, or is it a marketing number that requires a supercomputer to drive? \n let's deep dive. \n first, the build quality. \n this monitor is heavy, solid, like a premium product should be. \n the stand is massive and allows for full adjustability, height, tilt, swivel. \n but it's also, frankly, a bit of a desk hog. \n if you have a small setup, this thing will dominate it like a friendly but space-invading robot. \n therefore, consider your desk real estate. \n now, let's talk about the curve. \n this is a mini promise. Your perception of screen curves will change after this. \n the 1000R curve is intense. For gaming and immersive single-player experiences, it's phenomenal. \n it pulls you into the world. \n but for productivity work, for editing long spreadsheet documents, \n it can feel a bit weird. \n your eyes have to adjust to the warped perspective on straight lines. \n therefore, if you're a hybrid user who games and works, this is a genuine consideration. \n it's a gaming monitor first, a productivity monitor second. That's a twist, right? \n many reviewers just gloss over that. \n okay, picture quality. This is where the G7 starts to justify its cost. \n the quantum dot layer on top of the VA panel delivers colors that are truly vibrant with deep, inky blacks. \n the contrast ratio is fantastic, far better than most IPS panels out there. \n this means dark scenes in games or movies have detail, not just gray mush. \n but here's a scroll stop interjection. VA panels traditionally have had slower response times, leading to smearing. \n Samsung says this has a 1 ms/GTG response. \n so, does it smear? \n in my testing, the smearing or ghosting is minimal. \n it's the best VA panel response I've ever seen. \n therefore, that old VA stigma is being shattered here. \n however, there's a caveat. \n to achieve that best performance, you need to use the fastest response time setting in the menu. \n but on that setting, at 240Hz, some users report inverse ghosting or overshoot in certain tests. \n it's a tiny trade-off for blistering speed. \n I found it imperceptible in actual fast-paced gaming like Apex Legends or Valorant. \n now, let's open another loop. \n HDR 600. \n is it real HDR? \n it's better than most monitors labeled HDR 400, which are basically fake HDR. \n with 600 peak brightness and that great contrast, HDR content does pop. \n but it's not OLED level HDR. nor is it the full 1000 nit plus experience of premium TVs. N therefore, it's good monitor HDR, a nice bonus, not the main reason to buy. N time for a joke. This monitor is so curved, I looked at it and now I see the world in a slightly bent way. N my cat looks like a feline parenthesis. It's an adjustment. N alright, the big one. 240 Hz at 1440p. N this is the dream combo. High resolution and ultra-high refresh rate. N it's silky smooth. When your GPU can push frames that high, the motion clarity is addictive. N, but here's the contrarian snapback. Your GPU needs to be a beast. N a 240 Hz 1440p monitor is like buying a Ferrari and needing a racetrack. N you need the hardware to feed it. N therefore, if you have a mid-range card, you won't hit 240 Hz in modern titles. N you'll be gaming at lower frame rates, which is still fine, but you're not using its full potential. N so, ask yourself, is your rig ready? N if not, maybe a 144 Hz or 170 Hz monitor is a more pragmatic choice. N that's a crucial mini promise. I'm saving you from a mismatch. N now, the input lag is incredibly low, perfect for competitive play. N the G-Sync compatible and FreeSync Premium Pro support works flawlessly, eliminating tearing. N, but there was a known issue with flickering in early models, especially with VRR enabled. N Samsung has largely addressed this with firmware updates. N therefore, if you buy one, update its firmware immediately via the OSD menu. N it's a simple fix for a problem that shouldn't exist, but tech is weird sometimes. N let's talk about the OSD menu and controls. N the joystick at the back is intuitive and easy to use. N the menu system is robust, with lots of settings to tweak. N but, and this is a personal nitpick, some gaming features like the dynamic brightness are more gimmicky than useful. N therefore, stick to the core settings. Refresh rate, response time, black equalizer for spotting campers in dark corners. N the black equalizer is a game changer for competitive titles. It's like legal wall hacks. N here's joke number 2. This monitor has so many settings, I spent an hour tweaking it and my game still looked terrible. Turns out I just suck at the game. The monitor was flawless. N resolution time. Is the Samsung Odyssey G7 27-inch worth the extra money? N therefore, let's break it down into clear categories. N if you are a competitive gamer with a high-end GPU, RTX 3070 3080 or equivalent and above, who values immersion, motion clarity, and deep blacks, yes. N the combination of 240 Hz, 1 ms, QHD, and that curve is a unique, premium experience you won't get from cheaper flat panels. N if you are a single-player immersive game enthusiast who loves rich visuals and hates IPS glow. Yes, N the contrast and colors are stellar. N, but if you are a budget-conscious gamer with a mid-range GPU or a hybrid user who needs a monitor for 50% work, 50% play, probably not. N you'll be paying for performance you can't fully use and the curve might hinder your work. N therefore, the value is intensely situational. N it's not an automatic buy. N it's a targeted high-performance tool. N that's the unfiltered truth. N now, the final call to action. N if you've decided that this monitor aligns with your needs and your rig is ready to unleash it, you want the best deal. N prices fluctuate on Amazon. N for the absolute best price on the Samsung Odyssey G7 27-inch. Click the link in the description below. N it'll take you directly to the current listing, and you might find a surprise discount. N it's the easiest way to get this gaming powerhouse without overpaying. N before we end, 2 more jokes. N this monitor is so fast. I blinked and missed my own death in a game. It rendered my failure with breathtaking efficiency. backslash N, and finally, the curve is so pronounced. I tried to watch a movie on it, and now I think all actors should have a slight bend to them. It's a new aesthetic. Backslash N. In summary, the Samsung Odyssey G7 27-inch is a fantastic niche premium monitor. Backslash N. It justifies its price for the right user. Backslash N. But it's not a universal champion. Backslash N. Therefore, know your needs, know your PC's power, and make the choice with confidence. Backslash N. Thanks for sticking with this deep dive. If it helped, let me know. For that best price, the link is waiting in the description. Game on!